session for a client. So I'm going to be sharing energy work and psychic wisdom. If any of you are interested in exploring a session with me, please come visit me at my website at abbynormalswisdomquest.com. I'm going to read the goals here and get started. Okay. I am definitely open to whatever is in my highest good. My guides know. I want to hear and receive messages from my guides more. I also have childhood abandonment and trauma behaviors that keep rearing their ugly heads. Okay. You want messages from your guides. You want to hear and receive messages from your guides more. Whatever's in your highest good. Okay. Then you have childhood abandonment and trauma behaviors that keep rearing their ugly heads. So that's definitely something that, it's getting your attention. It's regularly cycling back around and saying hello again and again in your life. That is something that you want to face. That is something you want to heal. That's really good. It's time. It's time, right? Okay. You know that your guides know what's in your highest good. And you want to hear and receive messages from your guides more. Okay. I'm really getting to know your goals because this is what you want, okay? And I want to really tap into that on a deep level so I can access the best path, okay? You're ready to face stuff. That's what keeps coming up here. You're ready to face some things, heal some stuff, and you're ready to grow. Move on to the next thing. Get to know your guides more closely. Okay. You ready for this? I'm so ready for this. And thank you very much for your open-mindedness to share with others. We're all going to learn and grow so much from you. Thank you so much. Okay, here we go. So it's like I've fallen into a liquid, and it's more like a chemical liquid than it is water. It's not oil. It's not like an organic substance. It's more like a man-made substance. But it does get bubbles in it, and it's kind of oily like a baby oil, even like a cooking oil. But this feels more like a man-made substance. And when I fall into it, I kind of go down and then I come up, but I never come all the way up to breathe any air. I also am not really paying attention to my needs. And so I need to breathe, but I just kind of hold myself and I just stay under this substance and I just accept it. I just accept it. You are kind of like holding your knees up close to you and your arms are around, and there's kind of a rope tied around you. So there is kind of a clutching, a holding on to yourself. And then there's a rope also that kind of comes down, and then you're wound up in this rope. So is it you that really has the capacity to help yourself? Or is there something that's bound or wound around you? It's kind of like this is controlling your freedom. So you're kind of having to accept it is what it is. The thing is, emotionally, vibrationally wise, I don't feel sadness. I don't feel a longing. I don't feel a need. It just is what it is. It's very matter of fact. I'm just going to fall into the substance. I'll hold myself. Oh, there's a rope here. It just is what it is. It's just is what it is. So I need to bring the feelings back into you because it's about your feelings. It isn't, it is what it is. What do you want to get out of this moment in time? because you matter. You really do matter. I'm wondering here, just from this initial scene, if you're a very flexible person, um, you maybe you're the type of person who you could go through some tough stuff, but you just kind of go with the flow of it, and you don't become too emotionally attached. You just keep going with the flow of it. You're really flexible. So if somebody really needs it this way or really wants it this way, that's fine for you, because you're very flexible. You're very easygoing. So if you have that nature, then you're not going to be able to really feel what it is that you want. And you're not really going to own what it is that you want as more important than other people, more important than other people's needs. But your needs are important too. So it feels vibrationally like we need to bring the emotions into you for you to really have this self-realization inside yourself that you want something, okay? That you want something. So evaluating the scene, you don't want anything. But you're in a weird chemical substance. You're not breathing. You've got a rope tied to you. You're not struggling. You're not saying that you want to breathe. It is what it is. You have to say no to this. You have to say, I do want something. I do want something that is going to be in the best interest of myself. And that you have the power to decide what that is for you and to make you happy. To make you happy. Okay? This is still the beginning. So think about that. All right, I'm going to go more inside of this persona of yourself. I don't make it, I'm not loud. It's like the squeaky wheel gets the grease. There's a reason why. Here, you aren't speaking up, or you're not saying anything, so you're not heard. You don't even speak up for yourself here, so you don't even know your own, you're not really sticking up for yourself and what you need or what you want. And there's also kind of like a bandage wrapped around the mouth, so even if you are trying to project that, nobody's going to hear you. And you're not fighting for it either. So where's the passion at for yourself? You have to be passionate for yourself and passionate about yourself. You know, this you, I'm getting closer and closer to the nucleus of you, like to go inside of yourself, but you kind of keep yourself a bit of a mystery. So I'm not allowed to just, the words are penetrate that egg. I don't know. When we think of penetrating eggs, it's like sperm and eggs come together, create life, right? And you're like this hard shell that doesn't want to let anything in here. And I'm trying to come in here to enter in. So there's some sexual language here. And I'm relaxing you. That even feels like I'm doing something gross. Like I'm relaxing you in order to, like I have an agenda that by relaxing you, you're going to fall into the palm of my hands. Like I've got gross ideas, gross desires even. Because I myself feel like I am a gross person. And I have large hands, and I feel like these hands are also gross. Like I'm covered in a scuzz. Just relax as I'm massaging your shoulders. Just relax. These gross hands massaging your shoulders. It's chemical induced scenario where you're bound. You literally are in a rope. And now you can't even really say anything. You can't really scream or stick up for yourself. I just feel like this male persona and I want you. I want you. I want you. And I want to smell you. I want to smell your hair. I want to smell your neck. I want to smell your body. And I want to take this off your mouth, and I want to take these ropes off around your, I mean, it's just wrapped around you. I want to let you free. But there has to be something that I'm going to receive. So when I take this bandage off and I take these ropes off, what are you going to do for me? What are you going to do for me? See how I love you? See how I care about you? This is really unokay. It's just not okay, okay? But we're going to have to go all the way through. You're crying, but you feel like you can't fight back and you can't say no. And I'm almost like seductively removing the bandage, this cloth from around your mouth. And I'm speaking in these soothing words like, see, that's better. That's better. I know you're talking about child abandonment, child trauma. This is coming forward as this has a relationship with your sacral chakra. There is a sexual energy about it. There's sexual damage about it. So whether you were sexually abused or as a child, there's love is unique as a child, because when it comes to snuggles and hugs, that's your sexual energy as a child. And so if you aren't getting the snuggles and the hugs, it can have an effect on your sacral chakra later in life. So we're just going to have to play this out as it is. And this is what I'm being shown is the vision, is the images that are presented to help your subconscious selves, your deeper selves, to heal, okay? So we're just going to follow this all the way through. Yeah, okay. So now this rope is being, you're hog tied. Like it's almost like I I got a lasso and you're like a cow or something, and I'm like lassoing you and I'm pulling you down and then I'm roping you up. I mean, you're not able to move. Like you're so roped together. And I'm just unwinding this rope very gently and delicately to show you how I love you. See how I love you? See how I care about you? I'm taking all these, the rope and this mouth cloth off. So you see you're free. But what are you going to do for me? Look at how kind I am to you. What are you going to do for me? I'm going to go inside this version of yourself, okay? Let's see if I can now. Just to see through your own eyes, just to see what's inside of yourself. There's a chemical induced haze. I feel groggy in my head. I feel like there's a strange circulation in my ears. I feel, honestly, a burning sensation in the upper part of my nose. I feel like I'm not breathing quite well. I feel disoriented. I feel like when I try to speak, it's all mumbly and kind of drooly, like I'm out of it, like I've been drugged and I'm out of it. And this is gonna get a little bit more invasive, okay? So this man is invading the space of your female body, okay? And because this is so drug induced and so disoriented, it's almost like incoherent. There's some pressure in places, but for the most part it's kind of incoherent. It's aware, but basically kind of like you're a rag doll. You can't move, you can't really speak, you just kind of having this forced experience. Is violating. violating of you and what you want. It binds you, and then it says, look at how kind I am to unbind you. But all it's doing is being invasive and inappropriately taking away your power again and again. There's an entitled feeling, there's a pleasurable feeling that the male energy experiences. In a way, it's sort of like the male energy kind of goes into this hypnotized trance state. Like it feels so active. It feels so like it's a wonderful bliss feeling. Like how could it resist? How could it say no to what feels so wonderful? And it doesn't seem to relate to if I were to step aside and be a third party watching this. It can't really see through the observer eye that this is wrong. This is very, very wrong. Can't see through the observer eye because it doesn't want to. It wants to just be in this hypnotized state and follow through with it from beginning to end and feel a sense of goodness because it feels good. Not because it is good, it feels good. And you become more stifled from it, more silent and more within, going inward. And you remain in this chemical substance. His energy just completely disappears. And it's all like it was a weird, bad dream, okay? And we remain in this substance. It's got kind of a liquor look to it because it's a tannish color, like a whiskey color. It's a lighter brown though. Not much lighter, but it is slightly lighter brown. I'm going to drain the liquid now. It makes me think of gasoline. And it's like a gas tank that is emptying out now. As this empties, I feel a shift here with your crown chakra and your third eye. And your ears are draining as well, but it's on the inside. Like there's like a funnel of it's all draining down now, okay? And there's a gross something in your stomach here that's trying to get like coughed out. You look very skinny. Your back is kind of curved and its bones are poking out in places. And you're more like a circle. You're more like a wheel, like a circular shape human. And you're not able to really stand up for yourself because you're so in a circle shape. You're kind of circling towards your feet and your legs again, right? So your head and everything is so far down, it's circular towards your feet. So you're always kind of in a bowed state and you can't stand up for yourself. And you're drained. You yourself are drained in the scene. I mean, this is a real energy pocket I'm going into. I'm guided into this energy pocket so we can look at it and then we can just bring balance to it and let it go. I got to get this part of you to rehabilitate and to find its voice again. To speak for yourself, to own what it is that you want, to be able to say no to what you don't want and yes to what you do want. And to be able to know what that is. To know what it is that you want and what you don't want. And to say it. Because I could almost sense there'd be like a numbness sensation. And I mean, I want what everybody else wants. It's whatever everybody else wants is fine with me. Like I could see it falling into that category, but you have to know what you want. You literally do. Maybe that's why I felt the need to be so articulate with your goals, because it felt like I really needed to um, articulate that this is what you want. This is literally what you want. Because in this journey state, I experienced that you need to know what you want. You need to acknowledge that this is literally what you want. That you are aware that some of this stuff is rising to the surface. It's luring its ugly head because it's trying to get your attention. Because it has a mind of its own in a way and is wanting to heal. And that's the only way it can get your attention is to you cycle back through creating a pattern in your life. Oh, guess what, there it is again. I've only been through this freaking 10 times now in my life. Why does this keep coming back? Because there's something inside yourself that needs to be healed, and then you move on from that cycle. It's over now. And so when you acknowledge it keeps coming up, it's because it wants you to look at it. It wants you to mend it. Sometimes we don't always know how to mend this stuff because it can be so ridiculously deep. It can be connected to more than we even thought was there. I mean, we may, the best way we can interpret it in our mind and beneath the surface of that, it could be so much more, right? So let's just go to the next thing here, okay? Yeah, it smells like like gasoline, like a gas station. I mean, it smells like gas. And it's an empty gas tank. And you're curled over like a wheel. And I'm lying you on your side and I'm trying to get you to stretch so you're straight, so you can stand up straight. And you've given up inside, you've let go, you don't believe that it will get better than this. You don't even care if it does. Just nothing happening is actually the best thing that could ever happen, is literally nothing happening. And so if I remain as a wheel and I just lie here lifeless, that actually is a heavenly state for me. That's a bliss state for me, because I don't want to be touched. I don't want any interaction. I just want to lay here. This is very distorted on on love. I mean, there's a real distortion on love here, and how in your relationship with receiving, giving, and receiving love, and love for yourself too. You're starting to turn into just bones. And you're drying up. You're just turning to a pile of bone meal. I mean, just ground up bone. Ash, pretty much. Ash. And it feels like death. It feels like this part of you experienced death. And vibrationally, to me, that is unresolved death. That isn't setting yourself free, that it is lingering in the pain without the body. This is creating some stress in the back of my head. Oh my God. It's really tight. Really tight. Because I feel the spirit of this you is still lingering here. I can sense you everywhere. It's almost like you want me to leave you alone. And I'm not going to. And I feel a bit of like I gotta be firm with this you. I gotta talk straight to you. 'Cause you need to eye straight talk. And I literally take an energy hand and I just scoop all this soul energy and I just put you right here in front of me. And I straight talk you eye to eye. And I don't know how to define the conversation, but I am bringing you back into a density. It's almost like I'm saying, stop running away. Stop running away. Stop thinking that running away is the solution. You matter. This goes so deep. This goes so deep. Because the imprint, so the initial scene, obviously, this is presented for a reason. Whether this is a familiar memory to you from this lifetime or some other lifetime, this is familiar to your inner collective selves, okay? And so this is what needs to be presented. And I feel that this storyline, this scene, it's not that this man had imprinted upon you your own self-worth. Because it goes so deep, your own self-worth was already damaged before he ever came along, before this ever happened. It's almost like your self-worth was already damaged, which attracted even more damage. Because his energy is looking for another energy that has no self-worth. Because beneath the surface of his insecurity and what is drawing him is his own self-worth issues. Okay? And this self-worth issue is old. Like, it's an unresolved old thread here. This has been going on for a lot of lifetimes. Because you're so worn out that it's hard to get you resuscitated. It's hard to get you to, like, literally, I'm doing the shock to shock your heart to bring you back to life. And you're just like a dead fish, you know? You're just done. You're just done. And because you're so done, you're gonna linger in a dead state and you don't care because you can't invest any more energy into healing this because you just been through so much along the way that has just become so repetitive that you're basically stamped down as just a worn out piece of carpet and you can't revitalize. I mean, that's what your energy here is saying. That's why I'm hardcore straight talking you, because that is me doing the CPR, the shock method to bring the breath back into your soul about this. All right, it feels kind of angrier than I expected it to feel, but this is yet the next phase that I am working with to get you to resurrect, to get you to wake up, because it has to be loud like that, okay? It has to be really loud and aggressive. So it's loud and aggressive. It's like the boom from the thunder in the middle of the night that wakes you out of a dead sleep and you're like panting like so fast because you nearly had a heart attack. Holy crap, what was that? I'm freaking out. It's just thunder. It literally is just thunder. But why? Why was it so loud? It scared me. Okay, so that's what the method is here. We got to wake you up from your dead sleep. You got to create the loud thunder that goes boom, and now you're freaking out of a dead sleep. Because we got to resuscitate you. Because you matter. But you have to receive that language. You have to receive that language that I am here. Your guides are here. We're all here to resuscitate you because that's what you want. You want to be resuscitated. You don't want to die and linger in the death and the suffering. You didn't want that. You wanted us to wake you up. You wanted us to resuscitate you. You want to have some self-worth. You wanted that. Yes. Yes, you did. That's what you wanted. You wanted self-worth. It's working. But it's going to have some phases to it, okay? Because you're kind of gross. You're kind of resurrecting as this like gross skeletal substance. Like there's bubbling skin that's trying to regrow on bone matter, and it looks like you got hit by a train. So you're kind of like, but guess what? You're coming together. Okay, you're coming together. This is good. This is good. Gotta want it. And the cool thing is you did want it. You just need to acknowledge it. You wanted this. That's why I had to say that in the beginning. I really needed to emphasize that, okay, so this is what you want. This is what you want. So, okay, this is what you want. You're actually stating what you want. Because deep down inside yourself, it's almost like maybe you know what you want, but you aren't emphasizing the power of that in your reality. That is the needle and the stitch and the fabric. That is the passion. That is the creation. That is your soul. That's your life force energy. And that's what you want. That's what you want, you know? It's not like, well, this is kind of what I want. No, it is what you want. But beneath the surface of all of it is you want to be resurrected. You want to be alive. You want to feel life worth living for. You want to feel like you are the worth within the life worth living for. Like you want to feel all that stuff, okay? Yeah, it's better. You're starting to look straighter, but you feel there's the next thing is insignificant, okay? You feel insignificant, and there's echoes from the initial scene where something was taken from you. It's called a preciousness was removed from you. So there was preciousness that was removed from you, and there was nothing you could do about it, okay? Because you were bound. Who took it? Did you let it be taken? Because there was a disorientedness about it, and you weren't fighting back because you couldn't really. So then it just happened. You're like the oyster who lost its pearl. Literally, I see an oyster that is pearl-less, worthless. A worthless oyster, no pearl in it. Who wants a freaking oyster that doesn't have a pearl? Yuck. It's kind of the scene here. Like, ooh, I found an oyster. There's nothing in it. Such a disappointment. You, the oyster with no pearl, what a disappointment you are. That's the next thing, okay? That's the next phase of this process of healing you. You're a disappointment. This is the next vibrational sound. That's not true, right? That's not true. That is not true. Who do you need to be good enough for? That they are so above you that they can look down and say yuck and turn their nose up. Ugh, you're a disappointment. What gives them the right to say that about you? And for you to believe it. For you to feel that way. You know? That's taking the pearl right out of the oyster. This is really deep stuff here. Because again, this is really impacting. It's impressively impacting on your mental body energy. I expected more heart and emotional gut. There's definitely sacral chakra work we're doing here. Major sacral chakra work here. But I vibrationally feel the most intense shifts are going on around your head. Okay? And your throat region, but primarily your head. Above, behind, and the third eye. Major energy shifting going on here. They say it's because it's about self-awareness. How you see yourself. How you feel others have seen you, and then how then you see yourself through the eyes of others. Okay? say no. Like, did you hear me? You say no. You said no. You did, though. You said no. But you said it, like, under your breath, so quiet, like, no, 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 no. This is real progress here. Yay! You're speaking. You're saying something about what you want, what you don't want, what isn't true about you, because only you can decide the truth about yourself. So what's the truth about yourself? You're freaking full of pearls. You're totally full of pearls. You're the most specialist oyster in the freaking ocean. You got what it takes. You're worth finding. You're worth discovering. You're worth having. You're worth holding on to. You're worth valuing. You are the value, okay? So I'm saying this in your energy field, and it's working. It's working as magic. Because it's like you just need some help. That's all. You just need some help to resuscitate, revitalize, get back up on your feet and feel brand new again. You just need some help because you kind of ran out of breath there, and you need some freaking CPR. You need some help, man. When people need CPR, they can't breathe for themselves. They need some freaking help here. You need some help. And so we're doing it. And you're getting this help. You're getting this help. Okay. Okay. You're like literally pushing a very dense substance out of your entire face. And believe it or not, it looks like an ice cream machine that's pushing out the custard or I don't know, the Dairy Queen or something, ice cream. The soft serve is just pushing it out, but this is really dense, like taffy dense, and it's like more dense and more taffy than like, so when it's trying to squeeze out of your face, it's ridiculously slow and impossible, and it's a light purple color. Okay. It's like a constipated substance stuck in your whole face, and it's like slowly trying to push out, okay? And I mean, there's pressure. Their face is turning red even to push this out. I'm kind of snapping my fingers because we need help from the other chakras. Come on, come on. Everybody work together here. From the bottom up, let's work together here. Because why is it so much energy around the face? Why that? Like, why isn't everybody involved here? All hands on deck here. I'm going to put light in your root chakra. Root chakra, we need your help here. Look at this. Look at this picture. Root chakra, we need your help. Hey, sacral chakra, look what's going on here. I'm putting light into you. I want to awaken you to help. Let's help. Let's all work together on this. Hey, solar plexus. You see what's going on here? Yeah, we need your help. We like totally need your help here. Heart, we need your help. We need your help here. The throat, it's okay. We need your help here. Third eye, crown. Help is coming. Help is here. You say some things are just simply impossible. You say the human cannot fly. That's simply impossible. We all know that. You jump off a tall building, you're going to splat on the ground because human beings cannot fly. There are some things in this world that are simply impossible. You say, okay, I can relate to that concept. I totally can relate to that concept. Okay, why are you saying that? You aren't explaining why. but two things are happening, two pictures. One is something quite weird. It's very long bones that are multiple different bones connected, and it kind of makes me think of a bat wing. But there's lots of these strange bone materials coming out the back side of you, and they're like ripping through the back skin on both sides of the spine, and they're very like the color of a bat as well, and they're kind of sticking out, and they're also like skeletons, like black bones, of skeleton people that are coming out your backside. And then the other picture is basically a big clock. Like it's like Big Ben. Like it's a huge white face with black numbers and black hands. And it's time, you know, it's time. And I feel like you are in the middle of a process here where you're facing time and then there's pain that's coming out from behind you. And it's a ripping feeling, and it is felt, and it doesn't feel particularly comfortable, but it's okay. I'm fine, you know. I don't particularly like it, but I'm fine. All the while, we can't deny there's a massive clock here, like a massive face of a big white clock that glows, and there's numbers, big numbers. And you literally are in the center again, and you're being ripped from behind, and you're just looking ahead. And it's like you kind of saying that you don't have any power over what's taking place. It has to just take place, and I have to be okay with that, whether it feels good or not. Isn't that kind of like life, you know? Again, you're starting to transform into like the sacrificial lamb persona. And I see you, and again, you're crumpled down, and you just let yourself be beaten down by souls, by people. And people who are that insecure and that happy to hurt other souls, you let them hurt you. It's almost like you attract it's almost like your soul wants to be beaten, your soul wants to be beaten down, it wants to linger in that state of death and then never really resurrecting. It just remains in the purgatory of death, and it feels like death. It feels like I'm dead, and I remain in I am dead, even in the spirit realm. And so in incarnate state, you attract situations that are going to break you down to freaking beaten down to the ground, and just let these souls come and continue to beat them down. And you're not standing up for yourself. You're not saying no to this. Are you really teaching these souls any lessons? Or is it time for you to wake up to yourself and move on from this behavior? Because you're just enabling them to maintain and stay in their insecure state. And to happily beat you down is just another opportunity to remain in that state. It's not waking them up to themselves. It's just enabling their vulnerability in order for you to enable your own vulnerability to remain in the I am dead purgatory state. So this scene is showing me you attracting souls that have a very loud vulnerability that now is taken out on you, because you want to put yourself down vibrationally and remain in an interdimensional state of being that is like dying and never resurrecting. And it's like a sacrificial lamb that is not empowering the world at all. It's not empowering souls. It's not empowering yourself, because what you want out of it is to be beaten down, to remain attached to a state of I am dead, never resurrecting, remaining in the purgatory of I am dead. Flatten like a pancake, you know? You have an aspect of your soul that is attracted to being beaten down. It's attracted to that pain because it wants to remain in that place of suffering, because it's been through so many lives, and it just doesn't stop. It doesn't say I've had enough yet, but yet it is saying that. And it simply has to acknowledge it has been saying that for a long time. It has been saying that for a long time. It has to wake up to the fact that it has been saying, I want this to stop, because it does have a decision. It does have a desire. I want, and I do not want this or that, right? So when it's saying, I just, I'm done, and I'm going to remain in this death state because I'm too tired, I'm too, etc., incarnating into lives now to maintain that state for that part of your soul. Not really teaching any other souls, it's just encouraging you to stay down. But beneath the surface of that, you have to acknowledge that you don't want this. You do want to be rehabilitated, and that's where you need the help. You simply need the help. You really do. Yeah. Again, you're breathing, you're inhaling, you're starting to feel again like you're standing up. You're feeling stronger in your legs, you're feeling stronger in your lower chakras, stronger in your own will, your willpower to stand up for what you want and to be attracted to a level of energy that represents you, the true you, that you can now acknowledge who you are, right? The oyster with the pearls, the desirable oyster with the pearls. Nothing precious was ever taken from you. You let go in order to maintain a vibrational level of despair, basically. But you can have anything back anytime. It's just, I just want to, there's still some energy here that's just saying it's not fully resolved yet. So let me just see what comes next. This is good. This is actually good. Where I got to give you a talking to, how I was talking about the aggressiveness, the intensity, it feels like anger. It's you now. That intensity is coming inside yourself and you're starting to feel angry, which is fine. Vibrationally, this vibrationally acceptable. Like, it makes sense here because it's a counterweight. It's maintaining a really good balance here of revitalization, coming back to yourself. Being angry is you awakening to what you've been through, what you kind of allowed yourself to go through, allowed other souls, you kind of enable them, but you were enabling yourself, etc. You're waking up, you're hearing, you're seeing, and you're saying, wow, and you feel anger about it. That's fine, because that's just part of the process. I actually like that you're getting louder, vibrationally louder, and you're starting to say, I like this, I don't like this, I want this, I don't want that. Like, you're starting to own what this life is about for you, okay? What you really want. What you actually really, really, really want, okay? Okay. This is anger still happening here. Fine. Exhaustion also happening. Anger, exhaustion. Very exhausted now. Still angry, but too exhausted to be angry. Oh, man, like a pile again. Like, I can't stand up on my own 2 feet. I'm too weak. This is okay as well. Turning into kind of like there's a black orb developing around you. And you're crying silently inside of it. I say don't cut yourself off. You're just turning into smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller person, okay? Inside a smaller and smaller and smaller black pearl, basically. And there's a black orb around you. It's like a black pearl. And I say don't close yourself off. You can get infinitely smaller forever. Isn't that crazy to think about? Infinitely smaller forever. You can get infinitely larger forever. So what is bigger than the universe? What is bigger than bigger than bigger than bigger than bigger than bigger than? It's so crazy, you know? But when you get infinitely smaller, you're vibrationally shutting down, so you become more and more and more and more silent. And you're cutting yourself off and you're withdrawing. But that's not what you actually want. That's you falling into this state again, because you don't want to let it go. You just want to maintain that vibration for some reason. Why are you doing this to yourself? So I'm just stopping time. I'm stopping you. You're already small, really small. You don't like it when it's like you want to just become silent and withdrawn. But what I have to do is open you up to be seen and heard, and for you to feel comfortable with that, vibrationally comfortable with that. Still working on getting you to come back to life, to come back. Because you're shutting yourself down basically and withdrawing hardcore. And it's still not happening yet. I'm just going to let you linger in this turned off state, because that too can be a meditative state where your higher self and as messages, you know, from on high, literally the silent messages are the highest vibrational messages. So when you're silent, you can truly receive that. And usually you don't hear it, you just sense it or feel it, that you are given the information you need, even if you don't know what it is yet. It's really happening. So I'm talking to a part of your consciousness, and I'm saying, what is creating this here? You are avoiding, like you're turning into a weird looking upright lizard, and you're quickly turning around and you're walking away from me. You're avoiding. Kind of like a light green color, like a Geico gecko looking thing. And again, you're silently talking to me. So I turn the volume up in your throat. I turn the volume up. I'm raising the sound. I'm making it so loud in here that you're going to have to have no choice but to expand. No choice but to expand. Yeah, it's waking you up inside the orb. This Geico Gecko you is still avoiding. Ah. You just asking me to stop. I say, okay, good. You're talking to me. Why do you want me to stop? Did you want something? Why do you want me to stop? Talk to me. You are silently talking to me. So you definitely have a lot of you, parts of you that are you. There's multitudes of them. Okay, that need everything to stop. Want to just lay there and be dead and never feel resurrected. Just want everything to go away. But it's also in a state of kind of like pain and disconnect. Is that what abandonment can feel like? And pain and disconnect and trying to find a way to cope, but feeling kind of dead and in a purgatory place and not wanting to resurrect because it hurts so bad. Maybe that happened so it could help heal your soul. Because we're going to keep repeating the same pain until we're able to stop by finding the strength within ourselves to stop. But sometimes we need help from others to help us to see us ourselves and to find the strength inside ourselves to do the right thing, to follow through with what it is that we really want deep down inside. You didn't want to be abandoned. You didn't want to be abandoned. You are an oyster full of pearls. Don't abandon yourself now. It's okay to say you didn't want to be abandoned. And what does that mean exactly? Did somebody ever have you and then they just left you? So did you have them and now they just left you? Like, what is the attachment here? You understand what I'm saying? I know this we're talking about a child. We're talking about life. We're talking about real human emotions here. We're talking about people we love that should have been there. You know, we're talking about that kind of thing. But we're also talking about attachments and exploring a relationship with that and knowing that it's okay for people to make choices. If that's to abandon someone, then did they really abandon? Did they abandon anybody? Or did they just need to go, you know, for whatever reasons? You need to let them go. Then they can go. They never abandoned you. They just needed to go. So you just let them go. Had nothing to do with you. Had nothing to do with you. So you just let them go. Yeah, just let them go. Yeah, that feels better. It feels better. It feels like acceptance. That feels like acceptance, which is loving a soul for whatever choice that they make. And knowing that you don't have to take it personally, right? Now, let's say you did for a lot of years of your life. How are you supposed to know what life is like without that there? It can take time to heal that, okay? Because you develop these programs, right, of what you're accustomed to feeling for years of your life, and now suddenly you don't have to feel that way. It takes time to get used to not having to feel that way anymore, you know? So you don't have to feel that way at all anymore. Because you can forgive that soul, which didn't even need forgiveness, because that soul was entitled to make their own choices for themselves. And now you can make choices for yourself. And you don't need anybody's permission to follow your heart and follow through with what you feel is how you want to live your life. You're still angry, okay? You're a lot better. You're not this gecko, this the black pearl, everything is turning around, okay? Vibrationally, it's coming back to yourself, and you're feeling safe with yourself now. Because it's all about you. And you are the center of yourself. What's interesting is they show me that who abandoned you, if we're all a part of each other, then who abandoned you is a part of you too. So a part of you abandoned itself, which was you. But we also have to think a little bit differently here to let those parts go and to be in gratitude that they made a decision that felt right for themselves. Had nothing to do with you. Okay? Definite improvement here. Again, the gecko, the pearl is coming back, vibrationally coming back, so not getting infinitely smaller or even infinitely larger. There's just like it's coming to balance is the best way to define it. It's coming back to balance with itself and loving itself, not running away from itself, not entering into that energy state of that death without resurrection, that type of feeling, okay? Actually feels okay with itself now. Doesn't look like a pile of bones or a gross thing. It's not a wheel. You're standing up for yourself, standing on your own 2 feet. I feel that your chakras are going to work together here. They're acknowledging each other. No chakra has abandoned any other chakra. We can all work together now. We can work together. You are strong in yourself. You are strong in yourself. You are strong for yourself. Yeah. Yeah, this feels a lot better. Anything else? I'm supposed to come back to this one line here. Something precious was taken from you. We're going to come back to that. What else did you want to say about that? It showed me that what was precious looks like a pink pearl. And now the pink pearl is being handed back to you, and it is being placed into your heart. And the light shines bright within you. And it's like a rare pink pearl. And there's something special about you. And that specialness has been returned. So you can feel special. You can feel the rare pearl that you are. Is you. Rare pearl is you. The energy is returned to you. Nobody can take anything from you, but it's almost like you needed to go through a time where it felt that way. And now it is being shown that it is different now. It isn't that way. It is different now. And that you're going to be catching up with this new truth, okay? You're going to be vibrationally, energetically, mentally, emotionally, physically, etc., catching up with this new truth. It feels a lot better to me. Again, you're standing up straight. It's okay to acknowledge what you want, right? Even if you don't know what you want, you can actually define what you want. It's okay to say, I didn't want to be abandoned. It's okay to say that. I didn't want that. Why didn't you want it? Well, I didn't want them to go. Okay. But they went. They left. So I didn't want them to. Okay, but can you let them go? Is it okay they leave? Yeah. I didn't want them to leave, but it's okay that they left. And it has nothing to do with me. I want to know who I am now. Without all that other stuff, because it's not about it, I don't relate to it the same anymore. Because I don't need it anymore. I want a new path with some new learning. I want that. I want that. I know that I want that. I know that I don't want this learning because I don't need it anymore. I feel like I've learned the lessons I need to learn now. Speak like this, okay? Like talk about what you didn't want, what you're okay with. Ask yourself some questions. Well, why didn't you want that? Okay, that makes sense. But is it okay though now? No, it still isn't. Okay, well, why not? Because I still feel hurt inside. Well, why do you feel hurt? Because I didn't want that. Okay, but it happened. Sometimes you have to go round and round in a circle until it just seeps in enough where it's like, I don't even want anything to do with this anymore, because it doesn't define me all these years later. It isn't define me at all anymore. I want to know who I am without all that. I don't even need any of that stuff in the way anymore. Like, I'm ready for new stuff, Yeah. Okay? All right. There's a lot of material here to think about. All of this, so as you're watching this video, as you're receiving this, you're receiving at a conscious level, and then you're thinking about it, right? But it's seeped in. I've already interacted what's beneath the surface of your own mind, vibrationally interacted with. So give this session some time. 60 minutes is a lot of energy work. So a good 2 to 3 weeks, you can feel a lot of transformation during that time. And a lot of expanded just shifts and changes and the way that you feel about all this, okay? So thank you so much for the opportunity to connect with you. Thank you so much for sharing this with others. Really complex session. I'm so ready for you to feel vibrationally totally new way. I don't want you to go back to that. No, you don't. You don't go back to that purgatory place. No, none of that anymore, okay? Resuscitated, owning life, right? And it's about you. What do you want, right? Say it. Say what you want. And you just said what you wanted, You know you. Okay. Thank you again so much. Everybody watching, thank you all for watching. Thank you for your kind comments and the thumbs up. If you're new to my YouTube channel, please feel free to subscribe. I hope you all have a very wonderful rest of your day.